Welcome to Phrase It Friday. I'm Alex, the founder and developer of Phrase It, and today I will show you exactly how we can say 6 phrasal verbs. As requested, 6 words with call. How to say call with different prepositions in English, and I'm going to tell you that right now. So, call up. Say that with me. Call up. Called up. Call up means to start or begin a phone call with somebody. So I call up my friend. I call up my mom. Or I might say, I need to. I might use another verb before this one, and I'll say, I need to call up my mom. Or I need to call up my friend. So that's this one. Call up, called up. ED. Not called, called. Called up. Okay? Another one is call back. Call back. And that means to return a phone call. And the same pronunciation in the past tense, called back. Called back. I called back my friend. First, I called up my friend, and then they had to go. They couldn't answer the phone. They were in a hurry. They were busy. So they said, hey, I'm busy now, but I will call you back. And sometimes we put the preposition or the pronoun you in between here. And we might say call him back, call her back, call you back, call them back. We use it in many ways. So call up, call back. Those are 2 of 6. The third one is call off. Call off. And this one means to cancel or terminate or end something. So to call off the wedding, to call off the banquet dinner, to call off work tomorrow, to call off something. And you can sometimes say call the wedding off, called it off. It's a separable phrasal verb. All of these here are actually separable phrasal verbs. Call up, call back, call off, call it, call them back, call them up, call it off. We won't say like a person with call off. Call off is used with like a thing or a situation. Call back and call up are often used with a person. So that's a little different. But these are all separable, meaning you can put a pronoun in between them, and you've got these. By the way, if you want these cards, you can get them below. But yeah, those are just 3 of 6 today. I'm going to give you the next 3 now. So the next one is call down. And this one, I have the next 3 I don't have in my Phrase It cards, but I can make some more in the future. And be on the lookout for my Phrase It 2 deck for those. So anyway, call down, call down. Same called down, past tense. But call down usually means I'm requesting something from someone from a higher place to a lower place. So maybe my wife is upstairs and I have 2 levels. And I call down to, or she calls down to me. I'm downstairs, she's upstairs. My wife is here, I'm here. She will call down and say, honey, can you bring up the basket? Or honey, can you grab this? And maybe I say, yes, I can. She called down to me. And then the other one is I can call up to her. So not necessarily always a phone call. I can actually see my wife at the top of the stairs and call up to her, hey, honey. And she can say, hey, honey. And just so you know, honey, yeah, we eat that. It's a sweet, like sugary substance that bees make. But we use the word honey, Honey, as a term of love or endearment for each other. And sometimes I say this with my children. I'll say, oh, what's wrong, honey? Like if my daughter is hurt or she has a question, we'll use honey, Honey. We say, oh, hey, honey, how are you? Often a term of endearment. Anyway, so call up, call down is the one. They called down. But I am also in a work setting. It could be that my boss called down from another place. Maybe I'm on a construction site and I'm in the top level or I'm at the bottom level and my boss is up here and he's calling down to me and he says, hey, can you bring up the hammer and grab that piece of wood there, or bring up the pipe, or whatever. He's calling down. And often we don't really just like say this in a sentence like, oh, I'm calling down to you. We don't say that, we just talk. But call down is more like a description of what you see is happening in English. We don't always say, oh, he called him down. like in a story maybe, but we don't say this as often in like conversation, daily conversation. I wouldn't say this term, but I would use these other ones more frequently in daily conversation, like call off, call up, call back. We do say that in conversation more, but call down is more for description. So, okay, so that's 4 of the 6 I promised you today. Here's the other one, call away. Call away. Past tense, called away. Call away, called away. And you can make your own sentences below. If you want to say example sentences, you can. But this one actually means, call away means to, we use it when someone is called away from an event or situation in life. So let's say there's a war or a battle happening, and the soldier was called away from his home to go fight in the war. He was called away. And in our history in the United States, we have, World War II. Many Americans were called away to go fight in Germany. They were called to fight in World War II. And so we can say called away to do something. But we can also say he was called away for work, or she was called away from her desk. Maybe a client had arrived and you have to have a business meeting with a customer or a client. You are called away from your current task and you have to go and help that person. So maybe a server was called away to go and get more food. So sometimes we use it that way, like called away. Often I can think of it more as, I was called away from my desk to go help somebody with something. Does that make sense? Call away, called away. And I hope that helps you. But often we use it like to pull from someone from another place to another place, okay? And then the other one I told you about is call in. Call in. Sounds like the name Colin. Different. Call in is 2 words. Colin is an English name for one person. But call in is to request something. You're calling in for support. So maybe you are stuck on your computer and you're very frustrated with what you're doing, and you get to the point where you're like, I need support. I need to call customer support. So you call in. You call in for customer support for your technical problem on your computer. Or you call in for help for something. And that's often we use call in. But if you are sick and you cannot go to work and you're like, oh, you're vomiting, maybe you're not feeling well, you would call in sick. So you would, get your phone and you would call in and you'd say, I'm sorry, I can't come to work today, I'm sick. You call in for work and you let your boss know that you can't make it because you called in. And again, past tense for all of these, all 6 of these. Let's say it again. I want to know. Do you know it? Try it. Call, called. Got it. Called. Say it again. Called. Now you're going to repeat all 6 of these right now. You ready to repeat them? Here you go. Called back, called up, called off, called down, called away, and called in. To get more English practice for you, watch this video and you can learn your adverbs of frequency in the next video. Subscribe and share, comment below with your own requests, and please, yes, like I said, watch this video and I'll see you in another lesson.